Hi, I'm Marco and welcome to Bella Brista. Today we're going to be running through the Profitec 700 drive. It's a dual boiler machine, a flagship machine. This is everything you need and more for the home. Okay, I'm going to go through some of the aesthetics and appearances and build quality of this machine. It truly is a luxurious, desirable coffee machine to have at home. It's the top of the tree in all of the Profitec range of coffee machines, and it's what's known as a dual boiler. It has a separate boiler for the steam and a separate boiler for your espresso, your brew boiler. And this machine, again, Profitec, it exudes quality. It's beautiful stainless steel, lovely soft rolled edges everywhere when you look at the machine. Even when you take the drip tray off, again, beautiful glide rails. Everything is tactile, the one-piece chassis. The build quality is what we know and expect from Profitec over the years. The tap assembly is a lovely, beautiful, again, stainless steel. The gauge is just really quality. And you've got embossed on here the Profitec logo. You've also, if you've not just seen this as well, a few things that catch the eye. You've got the flow valve that comes with this machine as standard that we'll get into. You've got the kind of like the pop of colour in the orange manometer there as well. And you can also see some of the upgrades from the previous version of the Pro 700 is this illuminated on and off, but it's still a mechanical button. And you've got the new PID software technology in this machine. One of the other upgrades they've done from the original model is they've added the joystick steam ones, which people kind of really favour because you can push it in any direction to be on, or you can kind of feather touch halfway if you want half power. And yes, the machine, again, from the touch, from the finish, from the look, is stunning in every way. I will go through and do the tail of the tape like I normally do, just to give you an idea of size, because it is a dual boiler. It is a little bit larger on the kitchen worktop, and roughly you've got a width of about 340 mil, 34 centimeters. I'm going to come on to the height actually, so I'll do the depth next. Without the portafilter handling, 47 centimeters in depth, so it will fit on most standard 600 mil 60 centimeter worktops. The height, this machine has an advantage. So the height with the cup surround at the back, you're looking at approximately 430 mil, 43 centimeters. However, this machine is very good looking even without the cup surround. So to the top of the machine without the cup surround, you're looking at 385 mil. And a few customers now have taken off the cup surround. It's just like a little Allen key on here, and it removes the cup surround. It still has a lovely finish with just a little lip, so it can still keep the cups in place, and it might be all you need to get it in a certain or particular height or space restriction that you've got. So yeah, the height is changeable with this machine, and it still looks lovely even, you know, without the cup surround. So yes, aesthetically, the Pro 700 is, with its beveled, dual-walled cup surround edges, finish, luxury as good as it gets. And another feature that you can't see, but if you the camera follows me around and we go around to the back of the machine, you can see that they've also got the lovely Profitec branding cut out in the back of the machine through the stainless steel there as well. So just the finish everywhere on the machine, whether it's on show or it isn't, is really high quality. So we're going to talk a little bit about the spec. We're just going to grab a cutaway of the Profitec ECM machines to give you an idea. Profitec 700 is a dual boiler we've been selling approximately 10 years. A very solid, reliable machine. It's worth noting that, you know, we handpick every machine in the range. We're organic coffee roasters as well. It's all about taste in the cup and quality. And the technicians in our service centre, us here in the showroom, we all love the Profitec 700. So the extra changes they've done to the drive, which we'll come on to, have just excelled this machine even more. But I just want to run through some of the basics. The machine is a dual boiler. This is a cutaway of a dual boiler here. You can see you've got a separate boiler for your steam, and the Pro 700 drive has got a 2-litre steam boiler inside there, so you've got lots of power on your steam. And you've also got a separate espresso or brew boiler that this machine now has with a quick heat up. And this is a 0.75 brew boiler in the Pro 700 drive. So what this allows you to do is essentially brew, if you wanted to make your espresso, a really accurate temperature, and steam at the same time, and they're independent of one another. So you've really got brew temp consistency and accuracy for your espresso, and you've got masses of steam power if you want to blast cappuccinos or lattes galore. So the machine has a rotary pump and also a reservoir tank. It's a 2.8 litre capacity reservoir tank, and if you're in a hard water area, we suggest like a Brita or a BWT jug that softens and filters the water. And if you're going to plumb the machine in, which this machine's really capable of, we also recommend like an under counter water cartridge, again Brita, BWT, something with an ion exchange that softens the water that way. Move around to the front of the machine. So we've got, again, I mentioned the lovely kind of rolled soft edged stainless steel, beautiful finish. You know, you can tell the craftsmanship of a coffee machine with the well points on the drip tray. The capacity of the drip tray itself is 1 litre, so that's you know, it does hold a lot of water there. It reveals, again, an area to leave your extra steam tip or your shower screen, or your blanking disc, sorry, here for you. And again, the fit and the finish is Profitec standard that we know and love over the years. You've also got screw feet, so you can do slight adjustment if the worktop isn't perfectly level as well, to give you an even extraction. Okay, the next bit I want to go through with the new Profitec 700 drive is the flow valve that comes as standard with the machine. And also you get these beautiful little step up trays or riser trays that is a shorter distance from the handle to the cup, for, you know, all giving you that brew temp consistency. So what is a flow valve and why would you want to do it? First and foremost, it restricts the flow of the water, and you can then make coffees at the beginning sweeter, or sometimes you might want to save a bad shot, which I often find myself doing at home. So I'll go into that, but it's easier just to kind of explain as the flow valves working. So it's in the closed position at the moment. So if I just lift the brew lever, there's no water that's going to appear. It's also doing a pre-infusion, so I'll just let it wait for it to do that. So if I open this up 1 1/4 turns, that's about the standard flow rate of a normal E61, 10 to 11 grams per second. But again, you see how if I turn it back, how you can kind of restrict the water, or if I go around a whole 2 turns, you can get a real high flow going. So, saving a bad shot. I often find myself, I've not quite dialed in my coffee, and it's probably a really nice coffee, and I'm looking for a certain recipe in a certain time, and it's gushing through too quick. So I'm on to my last couple of doses of coffee, and that's all I've got left in the house. What I generally tend to do is I restrict the flow of the water to kind of get a slower shot, to get somewhere near to that recipe that I'm after. So I find the flow valve is good at saving a bad shot, and you can get something half decent. So that's one of the ways that I use it at home. Not its main intention, but it gets me out of trouble. The reason why we have the flow valve is, again, there's lots of lovely coffees, specialty coffees, sometimes a little bit of a lighter roast. And what you want to do is you want to pre-wet the bed of the coffee at a lower, well, just kind of a lower pressure. You don't want to hit it with a high pressure to begin with. So you can draw out more of these acids that are a more desirable, sweeter range of acids with a kind of lower flow, and it kind of also leads to a little bit of a lower pressure. So at the beginning, when you first lift the brew lever, you just open up the flow valve just so you get that little flow of water. And also what this machine is doing now is it's doing an extra active pre-infusion that we'll go on to, But these are all lovely ways of pre-wetting the coffee bed before you get the full pressure. There we go. Okay, we've moved in a bit closer to the Profitec 700 drive because it now benefits from this new PID technology that Profitec and ECM have introduced. You can also see the new illuminated power on-off switch. I will just mention this is still a mechanical switch, so it still means you can use a timer plug if you wanted to. However, the new technology in this PID menu, there is a ability now to schedule the machine to turn on and off 2 times a day, and you can program that in here. But yes, you still can use a timer plug if you want to. While I'm here, it's also worth mentioning the lovely retro gauges. Again, your steam pressure and your brew boiler gauges on the Profitec 700. But diving into the menu, it's a 2-button press, and the only things you'd really be ever doing is going into your brew temp and changing specifically the brew temperature for your espresso. If I set it to 94, a little bit higher for maybe a medium light roast, or you can go down to 92, 93 for a medium, or even lower for a darker roast coffee. So it's got that ability to get the most out of the roast level of coffee that you're going to be using. A quick double press in there again. What I have noticed, the brew temperature is very stable on this dual boiler machine. So if you set it to 93 degrees, it will be within a degree C of that, during the whole extraction. So it's a very consistent machine and brew temp consistency. So you'll always get very uniform shots whenever you walk up to it and make a coffee. Going through the rest of the menu, you've got your steam where you can adjust the amount of steam on and off, and then you can also change the temperature in there. That's set to 1. Steam temperature there, 128, that's quite fierce, but anywhere around 127, 126. If you go lower on the steam, it'll take a little bit longer to steam for a microfoam, and that gives you a little bit more time to control the texture. But also, if you have it on a higher steam power, there's less milk, less water that's introduced into the milk as well. So I often find if it's quite high, you get a nice velvety kind of texture for microfoam. Then through this, they're the 2 main things you're going to be changing, but you've now got pre-infusion, you've got active and passive. Active is when you're on the reservoir, passive is then when you have the machine plumbed in. But this is basically going to go for 4 seconds of the pump on and then 6 seconds off in res tank mode, and it does a countdown first. So when you lift the brew lever, it's doing this extra pre-infusion. So there's lots of ways of added to that, the flow valve of pre-wetting the coffee to get your extraction perfect. Okay, I want to just explain a little bit about the pre-infusion, and this is on a reservoir tank and it's the active pre-infusion. So pre-infusion, I've turned it to on, and it's going to go down and it's going to put the pump on for 4 seconds and then the pump off for 6 seconds. So it's a total time of 10 seconds. We're going to get this pre-infusion on the res mode. So it's now saved that, and if it's gone back to the normal menu. So if I turn this on, you'll notice it will start counting down. Pump on for 4 seconds, it doesn't get up to quite 9 bar, then stops. So this is saturating the puck, pre-infusing the coffee, and then it kicks in and gives you then your desired dose, yield and time that you want to do. And even then if you want to add the flow valve ability to it. Very clever. You've got an eco mode where you can set this to a maximum of 90 minutes before it turns off. I'll just leave it there. If you don't do any presses, it will save that. Back into the menu, cleaning reminder, reset reminder, advanced user settings I turn on and it gives you extra options. Reset reminder, advanced user settings which you turn on, it gives you filter, timer enable. You can set your clock and adjust that so you've got the right time if you want to use the on and off power schedule. Set the day. And then here's where you go into your schedule and you can then decide every day when you want to turn the machine on and off. You've got res tank mode or plumbing, pretty obvious that one. You've got your temperature in degrees C or Fahrenheit, and then after that, you've got your offset. Offset is a little tricky to explain. It's the temperature difference from the boiler to what actually is coming out of the group. And if you're in a cold environment or in a cold winter's kitchen, you might need to adjust that offset. Yeah, we find somewhere around about 1 or 2 is kind of accurate on the brew temp. But that's more of an advanced setting that we can go through with people in the showroom or on the phone or email. Fast heat up, which I'm going to explain in more detail as I go through that whole menu. It's one of the new features on the machine is the fast heat up, and it is a new feature on most of the ECM and Profitec machines, and it allows you to heat the machine up so it's ready to steam in approximately 11 to 15 minutes. But we'll go through that in a little bit more detail. Fast heating and back to your brew temp. So that's the whole menu in there. Okay, one of the features of this machine is its fast heat up. And if you just forget to turn it on and you want a coffee before you set off somewhere on the weekend and you've not scheduled it, I've missed it, so I'm going to go through again. Tank mode, enable fast heat up. So if I turn this on, what's going to happen is this machine will heat up, and it will basically overheat the element in the brew boiler for an extra 3 to 4 minutes at 130 degrees, and it will basically overheat the machine so it's ready for you to make coffee quicker. However, you might just need to, once it's done this fast heater, which takes approximately 10 or 11 minutes from cold, you then want to just run the brew lever, just because it'll be a little bit too hot to make the coffee with. So you just want to do a little bit of a flush first, and then what will happen is it will tell you it's ready then to make a coffee. Hey Scarlett, this is a message for you. During the PID, when I'm going all on about this, put this in at the active pre-infusion part. Okay, I want to just explain a little bit about the pre-infusion, and this is on a reservoir tank and it's the active pre-infusion. So pre-infusion, I've turned it to on, and it's going to go down and it's going to put the pump on for 4 seconds and then the pump off for 6 seconds. So it's a total time of 10 seconds. We're going to get this pre-infusion on the res mode. So it's now saved that, and if it's gone back to the normal menu. So if I turn this on, you'll notice it will start counting down. Pump on for 4 seconds. It doesn't get up to quite 9 bar, then stops. So this is saturating the puck, pre-infusing the coffee, and then it kicks in and gives you then your desired dose, yield, and time that you want to do. And even then, if you want to add the flow valve ability to it. Very clever. Okay, here's the accessories that comes with the Pro 700 drive. As you can imagine, it's a dual boiler machine. It's their top of the range machine, so it comes with some really nice items. There's a manual, and you're going to need it because it's got lots of lovely advanced settings in there that I've briefly touched upon, but they're all clearly laid out in here, even those pre-infusion settings. You have, actually, which is really quite nice, I'm going to jump straight to this, and I think it's a 58.3mm tamper, so it's slightly wider diameter. It's a real classic, hefty feel to that. It's good quality. You get your metal braided hose to plumb the machine in, if you want to plumb it in. You got the classic group head brush. You've got your classic Bakelite style traditional commercial handles that Profitec do. Here would be the drip tray that's on the machine, your blanking disc for maintenance, and this is your waste box here that you literally connect kind of at the bottom. If you take out the plug for your drip tray, you can actually connect to waste box and connect a waste pipe to it, so that's there as well. Yeah, the riser tray as well to make it a shorter distance when you're making just espressos. You've got that extra stainless steel tray in there as well. So packed full of accessories. So to summarise on the machine, the Profitec 700 has been a fabulous machine for I think about 10 years. We've been selling this dual boiler, and to many customers across the UK, it's just a sturdy, reliable, super build quality. And now in the drive, you've got these things that customers have wanted over the years, the ability to, change the shot as it's extracting with the flow valve. So this now comes as a standard option on this machine. The joystick steam ones, as I call them, so you can feather touch or full power and then knock back into neutral. It's also got the quick heat up, so you can be making espressos in about 10 or 11 minutes, and then it's up to steam within 15 minutes. So that's a great advantage if you want that. It's also got an ability now to schedule or a timer on and off. So there's lots of upgrades in the PID technology. So they've already made a great machine better. So with that and the ability to change the cups around, if there's a height restriction, this machine kind of offers everything you want if you're enjoying single origin espressos and a machine that you want to steam with as well. We've also paired this machine with the new Profitec twist to give you an idea as a kind of package, as a combo. This is their new single dose grinder. It's a 54mm flat burr. Again, beautiful quality. I really like how they've integrated a leveling tool, which must weigh easily over half a kilo, that you can adjust. So it's like a lightning tamper, and it also acts as a magnet to put the dosing funnel into the dosing cup into place. And yeah, you can be really precise with the worm screw adjustment, mainly for the espresso range. And yes, the now standard bellow system with most single dose grinders, but beautiful quality. Again, all the bits illuminated on off button that matches the machine. So right now the machine is priced at $2,399 including VAT, and it comes with our 2-year back to base warranty. And other dual boiler machines prices are making this more appealing by the day. So we expect in January 2025 with other dual boiler machines for this to really offer a great value for a flagship Profitec machine, and a dual boiler of this quality and construction inside and out. That price point really does give you something that's an end game machine for home. Certainly one to look out for. So if you liked this video, please remember to like and subscribe to see more of these videos and others. And also, if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. And all being well, we'll see you next week. Cheers.